Hi, hello everybody. So, as you all know, I have been very critical and very harsh about a lot of the things regarding this recent update in Act 2. Pretty much since day one, almost every single day after, I've been talking about various different issues about the game, either came into the game through the update or were exacerbated by this update, as well as certain other issues in it. For the most part, most people have been, most people have agreed with a lot of these questions and concerns. However, there's been a growing number of people who have been essentially accusing me of just being a hater or just being overly critical of the game. Essentially just thinking that there is nothing going right in it whatsoever, and that I have no love for the game, that I hated the game, or even just saying that I should frankly just quit. Ultimately, I don't really see why they think that way. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people are just looking at the title and looking at the thumbnail, reading that, and then just leaving a comment, disliking the video as well. I'd say most people who have actually took the time to watch the videos, took the time to actually think about these issues that I've been covering, largely sympathetic. It's not like that I think that basically everything to do with this game, like nothing's going good and that it's not doing anything right. I have never thought that way whatsoever. I just personally feel like it's more important to talk about what is necessarily going wrong and what could be improved, especially in a time as pivotal as this launch period. There are, frankly, a lot of frustrations that I have been experiencing that have largely been exacerbated because of the fact that I have been a beta tester for this game. There weren't any real additions or real meaningful changes to the game or like the gameplay loop of it, the beta test going to launch. I essentially have an extra 3 weeks of playtime tacked on to this launch version of the game compared to everybody else. I'm sitting at like my week 9. I feel like now is a good time to talk about the things that I feel like are good. I have said many times that I very much enjoy the end game. I enjoy the difficulty of it. I enjoy the speed run chase of it. I'm definitely much more of the minority of just like how much I enjoy this end game, at least regarding the entire player base, not necessarily out of all of the dedicated player base. Do I think that there should be more variety in the game modes? Yes. I do really enjoy the speedrun chase, the optimization of everything. My main frustration when it comes to the end game, it comes down to the fact that I need to have really well-built characters in order to compete and even in order to launch up the activity and perform well in it. And because this in-game economy is so restrictive, therefore dampens my enjoyment of what I find to be the best content in this game. There are also just like other things that I feel like are really missed out. For instance, when it comes to stuff like Grandmasters and when it comes to other high difficulty experiences in this game, like the Eclipse difficulty of the Gauntlet Onslaught, not only are both of these essentially just time gated on your experience with it, they also just completely removed the Eclipse difficulty after the event period ended. Rather than taking the time to expand the game, they made the difficulty and there was a whole event and it was really fun, but ultimately the game still remained at the same size. So while the Eclipse difficulty was good for the time, it wasn't good for the game overall. Even if they kept Eclipse in and didn't just remove it, like, sure, it would be cool to run for fun every once in a while. The fact that there are literally zero reasons to go through that Eclipse difficulty, what you'd be able to just get from normal, is really disappointing. There is a real big lack of end game chase. And by end game chase, I mean like those super pinnacle rewards and achievements. Could you imagine that instead of just having Eclipse run out, they just remove it from the game? Because, I mean, obviously nobody would run Eclipse if it's just the normal difficulty. Why not add a new tier, like Adept Mythics, essentially? Why not have Adept Mythics? Or why not just make it so that you can get the exotic shaders, the event exclusive exotic shaders from Eclipse exotics as a rare drop, similar to the Ghost Shell. Because I know a lot of people would probably be willing to run through that Eclipse difficulty 4 shots at that exotic shader, just straight up alone. Or even just making it so that you can get a boosted chance at the exotics. People would run a higher difficulty version of a strike for just like boosted rates. The base gameplay of Destiny Rising is really, really good. The moment-to-moment gameplay, I mean, it's just Destiny. They have done such an amazing job making this game feel fun to play. What they haven't done a good job of, giving extrinsic reasons to play. Obviously, if the only reason to play the game is only intrinsic, like it's just fun to play, there are going to be more games out there that are just more intrinsically fun than Destiny Rising. And what Destiny Rising has that advantage of is being a live service. It's being something that is constantly updated, something that you can come back to, experience something new. And that live service aspect has been something that I feel like has been seriously lacking. The seasonal updates for this first season have largely been a disappointment for the majority of the player base because it is not expanded on the game itself. We have gotten new character releases, new quests, and endgame resets. The game is still essentially the same size, the same scope and scale as it's been since the alpha or beta. The fact that we haven't gotten new strikes, new modes, even if they were just simple, like we're trying something new for this season with like boosted drops and stuff, it has been really, really disappointing, especially as a beta player. Like the fact that I have been a beta player has greatly increased my frustrations, and that's definitely why going into this Act 2 that it feels pot spoiling, and then it definitely didn't help with the extra bugs, the power creep issues, and the difficulty spikes that released alongside Act 2, and also the nerfs as well. I feel like if we got more cosmetic rewards, or even if we just got better basic rewards, that this game would be significantly better with that. There is so much potential just like baked into every single corner of this game. It's got like a really nice core. It's just everything around it is not able to support it. The gameplay, obviously amazing. Like the guns, the rolls, the chase, the loot chase. It's great, but currently, I feel like the resource economy, the content droughts have been severely hindering this game's progress. And I really, really don't hate the game. I mean, frankly, if I hated the game, I really don't think that I would be making this much content on it, like streaming it almost every single day, talking about it almost every single day, playing it, making whole spreadsheets that I'm still constantly updating, trying to make better with each iteration and each time I test new stuff or do some more build crafting or theory crafting. I really, really enjoy this, and I want to enjoy it more. And that's the reason why I've been really critical and really harsh, because I don't want this game to go down a direction where we get more releases that are like, well, this, where we get a new character that power creeps, like severely power creeps the older units in this game. Not even older, like literally 6 weeks ago, we got Tantu, and there are people just this week maxed out their Tantus, and then Hellhest comes out and completely power creeps them in every single aspect of the way. I mean, getting a season 2 release where we essentially have a login event, a spending event, and an endgame reset, and that's all it is for Act 2. What I want to see more of is, well, more of what, like that really, really exciting feeling those first few weeks where we were just kind of exploring everything. Right now, it feels like the more corners we look behind, the more rocks that we pick up, the more disappointment we kind of find. I mean, taking a look at all the artifacts. Frankly, I just don't think most of the artifacts in this game are that good. All of our characters are limited on their weapons, and especially because we have so few weapons right now. The fact that we're going like 10 weeks into this game and most units only have like 1 to 2 mythic weapons available in each slot, and significant amount of them only having 1 mythic available, period. It just feels really, really bad. I'm gonna be completely honest, I feel like the Calamity Ops leaderboard is probably the #1 issue in the game right now. I feel like the leaderboard progression just needs to be removed entirely. If we remove leaderboard progression, if we remove that competitive progression right there, where top players get significantly more rewards, and like whales get significantly more rewards than other people, if we cut that off, all of a sudden the whole question of like power creep of competition that just like goes out the window. In that case, if it's just like Expanse, then truly the question is all you need to do is clear. You don't really have to worry too much about power creep so long as you clear. And that's like the exact same way it is in most other gacha games, where so long as endgame is not creeping, like HP inflating and like outpowering your previous units, then you're fine. But the problem is that with Calamity Ops, you are competing against other players. So even if the content itself isn't outsizing you, the other players will power creep you in the content. And no matter how harsh, it is all come from a place of just like a deep passion for this title, for this franchise in general. From what I've heard from other people from other titles like Diablo Immortal, NetEase has pulled through with a lot of the changes, even if they've been slow. I'm gonna keep talking about these issues because if we become complacent with just the way that things are, then that's just what we're gonna be putting up with from here on out. If we're complacent with the fact that there are still artifacts in this game since launch that straight up have completely incorrect perk descriptions, that there are artifacts that are releasing nowadays that have completely incorrect artifact descriptions, like this most recent one, United Axiom, completely incorrect perk descriptions. If we are content with the fact that triumphs, like there are literally just triumphs in this game that are entirely incompletable, that have been this way since launch, then we're just going to be putting up with more and more issues. And even if we as a player base learn to tolerate this stuff, every single other person who comes in, they're going to hit something like that, some bump like that, and that's just a potential point for them to essentially just like rage quit out of the game. Like the AI voices in the campaign, that is definitely, and just the quality of the starting campaign, that is people's first experience in this game. The very first thing that they're loading up into is going to essentially just like flashbang them with a very, very low quality product and a very, very low quality. And I really, really don't think that we should be putting up with stuff like that, especially when the asking price for so much of this stuff is so high. Like a T6 Hellhest would cost people anywhere from like $600 to $1,200 depending on how lucky you get per month, and this will be a character every single month. And there's also cosmetics, there's also the progress, you know, like the exotic cores and the photons that you have to purchase in order to keep up, in order to build your units. With the amount of money that people are going to be spending on this game, the amount of money that they're going to be drawing from this player base, we should be expecting higher quality products, especially for the newest players that are coming in. Because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm essentially just telling people, oh yeah, there's AI voices in this game and you just have to tolerate it. Because it's all these quality issues, these gameplay issues are putting a significant, and I do mean significant, dampener on the game experience. I want to criticize this game so we get to a point where my critiques, my issues with this game shrink and shrink and shrink. I really do want to get to the point where if I want to be critical of this game, I gotta scrape the bottom of the barrel. Like I gotta talk about stuff like, I don't know, there aren't enough fish. I want to get to that point. That's my goal with this, is that I want this game to be so freaking good in like 2 years that when people go into it, think of like dumb stuff like, oh, there's not enough cosmetics to buy, I don't have enough decals to put on my character, instead of this stuff with the progression, this stuff with the Calamity Ops leaderboards, the competition, the power creep. I want this to be the best game it could possibly be so that I can keep playing it every single day for many, many years to come. Honestly, I've probably been rambling on and on about this, so I'm probably just gonna cut it off here because I don't think I have much more to talk about on this topic. With that all out of the way, if you're enjoying my coverage of Destiny Rising and would like to see more in the future, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in games such as Duet, Night Abyss, and Ananta, I will be covering those more and more as they get closer and closer to their release. I just love games in general. We've been on a bit of a critical streak lately, so I feel like it would be best if we all talked about something that we really, really enjoy about Destiny Rising in the comments below. Let me know what is one of your favorite things about this game, or, you know, if you just have something nice to say in general about a guy you played with, or about a content creator. I mean, More Than Unknown, Joe Nova, there's so many talented people who are covering this game. So whether it's something about the game or something about the community, let's just share something positive. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you all next time.